Do you want to help me? My editor's itching for an exclusive story on what really happened in the dock strike. I've already got some people lined up for you and me to interview. So come on, he won't hold the front page forever. He won't hold the front page forever.
Here, can touch Christians. Yeah, is it struggling being white?
Is it a struggle being the wife of a docker?
It's a struggle being poor. And we're not poor because we won't work either. Mick's 38 and not as young as others. Twice a day he stands out in the docks fighting for work in all weathers. That's how he got a bad chest, so sometimes he can't work. Then when he does get work, it might only be for a few hours. At best he might bring home 12 shillings a week, and that's with overtime. I take in washing to do a bit of needlework, and our eldest brings in 8 shillings a week. But when it's bad, we have less than 10 shillings a week to feed me and Mick and the 3 children, and rent at 4 shillings a week. So mostly it's bread, butter and tea for all. In good weeks we might get a bit of fish or bacon or eggs, but it's not often. Sometimes if it wasn't for the charity soup, we'd starve.
How did you cope when your husband went on strike?
Well, to begin with, there was no help. Food tickets came later, so it was back to pawnbroker again. Michael's Sunday suit first, my shawl, children's new boots, then it was the pots, pans and the pictures. Then the strike committee started with food tickets. But Mick had to queue with all the others at Ruth's Coffee House. Hours they waited, and some so hungry they fainted. Later they got better organised. I heard they gave out 25,000 food tickets a day. But it was never enough. And some days Mick came back with nothing because they'd run out. And then if you were lucky, the Sally Army came round. Otherwise it was keep the little ones in bed to stop them getting any hungrier.
Why did you and the other women support the strike?
Why? Because they were our men. And if the match girls could do it, then our men could too. Besides, how could they let things get any worse? Don't forget, we saw what the dock system was doing to them. And many of us did piecework at home too. We knew what it was all about. Some of us went on picket duty when the men were too tired. See them blacklegs stop when they saw us waiting. And it wasn't just a case of us supporting our men. I see Ben Tillett's wife and Tom Mann's wife doing the clerking with the food tickets and that. And then the girls up at Frost Ropemakers came out and strike in support, and others too. That strike was for us all.
What do you think caused this strike, and why now?
Let me make this point very clearly to you. The strike was a deliberately planned socialistic movement designed to undermine the economy of the metropolis. It was determined upon by the socialistic section of a Labour Congress held in Switzerland but a few weeks before the strike. They decided to launch their attack against the dock companies because they saw them as the weakest link in the wage-earning community. Good God! The strike was the sole subject of conversation in Germany days before it actually took place here in London. They knew that August was the dock's busiest month and the time when the supply of labour was lessened by hop-picking and other harvesting work.
Why do you think that public opinion was against you?
Throughout this strike, we had to contend with a hostile tide of public opinion which was created by the newspapers. They were all in utter ignorance of the true situation and were continually fed by gross misstatements. Kind-hearted sentimentalists created this image of the downtrodden docker, and this was encouraged by the City Liberal Association, radicals, certain members of Parliament of advanced opinion, and, would you credit it, even members of the clergy, young and old. Not only this, but many of these people were out actively helping the strikers. Even the merchants in the city submitted without protest to the daily invasion and total disruption caused by these great processions. At the end of the day, even the police, who are supposed to protect the public peace, did nothing, despite my frequent protests to the Chief Commissioner and Home Secretary.